Alright guys, so this is video number 2 of the fanfiction, The Final Battle. So there will be story spoilers. If you have not read The Final Battle, go do that. The links are in the description down below to the story on fanfiction.net and Archive of Our Own. It's the same story on both. So go do that or risk getting spoiled about the story. I don't know. But now that we got all that out of the way, let's get to the video. So I actually wrote this just after season 6 aired its finale, The Final Battle Part 2. And I was really angry with the outcome. And if you've watched my channel enough, you know that I've harped on the final battle and the figure under the hood so many times. I even made a whole video with 3 other potential people to be the figure under the hood. Yeah, and you can check that out by clicking the eye in the corner after this video, of course. Now, the thing is even though I wrote it after season 6 aired, which was so many years ago already, I was hesitant to post it because, for the most part, in the original story, the way I originally had it, it played out basically the same way that it did on the show. And, Emma fighting Gideon, Emma dying, Henry resurrecting her, them going to Granny's, baby Gideon's there, everybody's gathered around. The only thing that was different was during that dinner, Emma gets up and leaves the table and goes outside, and they discover that it wasn't actually the final battle because Black Fairy, Gideon, none of them were Emma's, great evil that was born out of her being the savior. And it is, in fact, Lily. And she has to face Lily. And she dies. That's how it originally played out in the story. And then I sat there and I was like, okay, I haven't posted a fanfiction in a while. I'm going to do that. I'm going to post, my finished one. And I went and I looked at it and I reread it and I was like, this is not interesting at all. Because the only thing that was new was maybe a paragraph, but that's it. So I went back, I made some tweaks, and I made some more tweaks, and some more tweaks, and then eventually it turned into a whole new story. And then it just sort of turned into Lily was the figure under the hood the whole time, and Gideon was just sort of a red herring. I wanted the characters to believe that it was going to be Gideon, but in the end have it be Lily because, I don't know, that just seemed more interesting to me. But on the flip side of all of that, I wanted to show Rumpel fighting Black Fairy because, to me, that made more sense since she was the darkness that was born out of him being the savior. I know, weird plot in season 6. But yeah, because Black Fairy and Gideon had basically nothing to do with Emma, I was like, well, this is Rumpel's battle to fight. And so I had sort of this back and forth situation where Emma has to fight Lily, Rumpel has to fight Black Fairy, and we get sort of a double final battle. And the idea of keeping Gideon as Black Fairy's pawn sort of added to Rumpel's conflict that was happening within his head type thing. He didn't want to kill his son. And so I was like, yeah, this works. I wanted the, epic, I'm going to use that lightly because it's me writing it, so it was hardly epic. But sort of this final battle with, the 2 saviors and their 2 darknesses. And I think that would have been much more interesting to see in the show. We didn't get that. Now, as for Emma's death in the fanfiction, I still stand by my unpopular opinion that Emma should have died in the final battle because There was no stakes in the final battle. None whatsoever. She was essentially prophesized to die, and it didn't happen. And I just felt like the final battle that the show gave us was very lackluster because kind of essentially nothing really happened. Like, nothing really changed in the show. Like, Emma got stabbed, she was resurrected. Gideon was back to being a baby and in the care of Belle and Rumple. Like, everything was good as new. So why did the final battle happen? Why did it have all this buildup? I needed stakes, and so I gave stakes in my story with Emma dying. In the show's final battle, basically everybody comes to the realization that darkness is going to win anyways, because if Gideon kills Emma, then Emma's dead and light is gone, darkness wins. But if Emma kills Gideon, then she darkens her heart and darkness wins. And it's honestly one of the better moments of the final battle, because there really is this impossible situation to be in. And ultimately it leads Emma to just sort of give up and, she's not going to kill Gideon because he's innocent. So she's going to let darkness win if it has to, but she's going to let it win with the least amount of damage. And for me, I feel like when I was writing Emma's portion of the final battle in this story, I was keeping that in mind. Like, it would be sort of the same outcome. Like, darkness would win regardless. But since Lily wasn't being manipulated in the same way that Gideon was, Emma was a little more willing to fight, giving her all versus just sort of giving up. But in the end, the result's the same. Emma couldn't kill the woman who was her friend at one point. And because Emma was defeated by her actual darkness counterpart, there was no revival for her in the end. And I stand by that. Now, as for Rumple's half of the battle, I thought about Rumple having to kill Gideon or vice versa, but I decided that Rumple would fight his actual darkness, aka his mother, and defeat her. And he would sort of do this almost without hesitation. Like, his hesitation is not to kill Black Fairy. Like, he has no problems doing that. His hesitation is because she still has Gideon's heart and he doesn't know where it is. Rumple's already given into the darkness. Like, there is no light in Rumple, so he doesn't have the same conflict that Emma does, where light loses. He's like, there ain't no light. So, if need be, I'm going to kill my mother, and that's going to be that. Now, I also wanted Belle to play an active role, and I know I'm putting that in air quotes because she really doesn't, but Belle is one of those characters that's always sort of sidelined when it comes to, like, rescuing family members. Like, they went to Neverland to rescue Henry, and literally everybody was involved in that except for Belle. Like, and I'm just like, why is Belle always left out of these things? Like, Belle is capable if given the chance. So, yeah, she would not sit by and do nothing when her son is in danger. Like, so I had it that she was the one to find Gideon's heart. I couldn't honestly think of where it would actually be. And if I'm being honest, it's been a while since I've actually seen the final battle in the show. So I don't even know if they addressed where Gideon's heart was at all. So in my story, I made it that it was right under their noses in Rumple's shop. Because I'm like, that feels like a Blackberry move, like, in a way, like, it probably wasn't there the whole time, but going into the final battle, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be in Rumple's shop. Like, but I was like, you know what? It's in a box. Rumple doesn't check all his little, gizmos and gadgets and everything like that. So I was like, yeah, it's there. And because it's a box and it's, no holes or anything, there's no light coming from it, there's nothing. So nobody would know. But a mother knows. So Belle found it. Look, I know it was random, it was crazy, but I had to make it that they found Gideon's heart so that Rumple could kill Blackberry, essentially. And I figured, you know what? Let's make it Belle that finds it, because why not? Give her something to do. We don't actually see her find it, so like I said, plays an active role, is in bunny quotes. Yeah. Admittedly, this isn't necessarily my favorite fanfiction that I've written, but I was running out of video ideas, and you can recommend video ideas by scanning the QR code. I think it might be here, maybe, or here, but I think it's here. And filling out the Google Forms quiz, or the links in the description down below, or you could do it in the community tab. There's also the link to that in the description down below. Please, guys, recommend video ideas, because I'm running out of them. And yeah, so I figured I haven't posted a fanfiction in almost a year. The last one I did was the New Year's Eve fanfiction, which was As the Clock Strikes Midnight, which was the Sophia the First one. So it's been almost a year, and I figured, you know what? Just do it. Just do it. So yeah. We got the final battle fanfiction. Let me know, what did you guys think of this fanfiction? You can comment on this video, leave a review on fanfiction.net, archive of our own, whatever. Do a combination of all three if you want. I don't know, but let me know what you thought of it somewhere.